Since several centuries ago, the Cunas people inhabit the islands of the archipelago Las Mulatas, better known as Cunayala. Settled in this vast geographical space corresponding to island and mainland, in a constant going and coming from the forest to the sea, the Cunas are an extraordinary example of human living in harmony with nature. Nature is not to be destroyed, it's to be thanked for letting us to exist, it's to be loved. Usufructing wealth from the ocean that traditionally skillful fishermen and dedicated plungers did, catching lobsters, crabs, and other products from the sea, had become a threat for this ecosystem. The transformations still operating in the weather and in the environment are a result of the destructive man's action, causing the destruction of the coral reef in the entire world. The global heating of the planet is whitening and will destroy the coral populations. Cunayala was part of a coralline ecosystem and it urged to preserve it. The growing rhythm of the world's population, the excessive fishing, the deforestation, and the contamination of coastal water are some local factors that cause the loss of the reef, which are source for keeping life in the sea. With the years passing by, one of the traditional resources, such as the lobster, became from a source of protein of local consumption to a main product to export within the comarca, and the pressures that exerts the demand of this resource has caused its shortage that brings it to a dangerous end. Today, it is very difficult lobster fishing. As the population has increased, there is more demand for the lobster. The future depends on the attitude of the same plungers. For what it is important that they know the alternative and the conservation of the lobster, so that in the future the lobster doesn't disappear. In the same way, the coral reef has diminished due to their use to build airports and to enlarge islands. On the other hand, the ecological tourism that is glimpsed like a sustainable economical alternative won't be able to develop to fullness if the main attractiveness, the diversity of the flora and marine fauna disappears.
Claro que sí, alrededor del mundo hay turistas exclusivos que le gustan la vida marina. Entonces yo creo que en gran medida el proyecto Reef.Vob va a ayudar para que este lugar sea un lugar agradable, interesante, porque para la vida humana es importante que todos nosotros tengamos ese amor, el cariño hacia el mar, y en ese camino el proyecto Reef.Vob ha sustentado para la humanidad, para que tengamos conciencia a la protección y a la conservación de los recursos marinos.
Without the coral reef, the whole Cunas culture that has been developed around them could be in risk of being lost, because the base of sustenance won't be able to already provide them of food, neither harm. I remember that near the island, one could fish lobster, and other fishes. And that in the afternoon the inhabitants knew how to fish near the reef. From 50 to 20 lobster was what someone could catch. But nowadays it is no longer the same. One to fish a lobster has to go far and deeper. That is ending now. The community of Acopseni, the Global Coral Reef Alliance, and the Oceanic Association of Panama and the Hotel Sapibenega joined efforts to develop an alternative new technology called BioRoca. Developed by Wolf Hilbert and Thomas Goreau to install coral hatcheries, lobster, and the production of the breakwater with the energy of the sun and the sea. The BioRoca is a system that precipitates calcareous rock on items submerged in the water of the sea by the application of a small electric current. With them, the corrosion stops. We accelerate the growth of corals and we manufacture non-poolant construction material at low cost. With the Akubisky non-creation, the first steps are taken toward the recovery of the coralline ecosystem.
We have been working mainly in the last few years to try to protect coral reefs from extinction from global climate change. What we have been doing for the last 12 or 13 years is using them to grow corals. What we've found is that when we put corals on them, we can get them to grow faster than normal, and we are able to restore damaged habitat. The corals that we are growing are not only growing faster, they're healthier, and they're able to resist environmental damage that they would not normally be able to survive. So because of that, we're able to restore reefs in areas where coral reefs normally could not recover.
Thanks to the non-governmental organizations' efforts, government and the community working hand by hand with the new generations. By conjugating the traditional knowledge and the scientific preparation acquired in our first studies house, the University of Panama, we start building the basis of the change toward a promissory future in balance with nature, for a society where the equality of conditions can be practiced, deciding to preserve nature and human life.
I
love the children, and my role is to let the new generation know what is happening. God is looking at me from above. Before I die, I have to inform you that I'm worried about future generations. We are willing to cooperate with all you need for this project. 1 year ago, they put a piece of iron in the seawater. I thought that it will oxidize and that it could not work. But I already saw the result, and it was as new. And I find that if it works, since I saw the test, I'm willing to cooperate. If all the inhabitants help, they could have good results.